Somehow, you've been unlucky enough to find yourself inside the Necropolis, a never-ending and ever-changing dungeon lorded over by the probably insane but ever-sassy Brazen Head, some kind of god thing, most likely, that goes back and forth between wanting you dead and wanting you to take care of some problems or run some errands for him in the depths of his dungeon. Many an adventurer has entered the Necropolis before, and you're pretty sure that none have left. Here's hoping you don't become another member of their nameless numbers. Necropolis is a third-person action roguelite from the crazy people at Harebrained Schemes, the makers of the newest Shadowrun games and the to-be-released eventually Battletech. The game has you taking control of an adventurer as they work their way through a procedurally generated dungeon, slaying baddies and grabbing loot as they go along, either until you reach the end or, more likely, kick the bucket. Then, thanks to the wonders of perma-death, you do it all again. I'm pretty sure I've pointed this out before, but there are a lot of roguelites that exist. Like, a lot. It's hard to find a new indie game that doesn't have some kind of random or procedural generation going on, and because of that, it's easy to lose the cooler, more fun, and more interesting games in the genre among all the messy mess that's going on with the rest of the games. There are a few things that make Necropolis worth your time, but the most important of them is that you can play it with your friends. You and up to 3 of your adventurous compatriots can all delve together into the depths of this dungeon and work together to overcome its challenges. That, in and of itself, is enough in my mind to warrant some interest. Add in the fact that there's friendly fire, meaning you can damage your friends, shared loot, meaning that you can steal loot from them, and that the game seems to spawn baddies more aggressively if you have 4 players, and you've got something that's almost endlessly entertaining. The game itself controls very similarly to the Souls series, it's just floatier. You can lock on, you have a light and heavy attack, you can block, bash with the shield, and dodge. Swings just take a lot more time than in Souls games, making things feel kinda sludgy at first. This is likely gonna be a turnoff for a lot of people. Honestly, I didn't really like how the combat felt at first. It's really strange to go from something so tight and fluid like Dark Souls to something as different as this is. But after some time, I got used to the new pacing and I found myself having a great time, even in single player. There seem to be a few different weapons that you can get, all sorted into what seem to be weight classes or something similar to that, with weapons in the same weight class having the same or at least very similar attack patterns. It looks like there's light, medium, heavy, and more heavy weapons. There's definitely something for most playstyles, but I do hope that they added more variety in terms of movesets. Just as an example, there aren't any weapons that poke instead of swing, even though there's this huge spear, and there aren't any bows or anything. There's a crossbow, a wand, and a weird cannon thing that you can wield in your offhand, but there's no main hand ranged weapons. It's an interesting choice, and I just hope that they are conscious of that and add more variety. Something I personally really enjoy is the tone that the game takes in its writing. There's an abundance of anachronistic word choice that gives most of the writing an almost apathetic tone, and it comes across as sarcastic, sassy, and dismissive all at the same time. It's charming, and at times it's downright hilarious. The developers have already released a couple of patches for the game, tweaking balance and adding some weapons and floor variants, and it looks like they're going to continue to do so in order to perfect what they've got so far. Necropolis is, in a nutshell, simply an entertaining romp through a dungeon that you can bring your friends along for. You can help each other, accidentally kill each other, or purposefully hog all the loot to yourself so you can become the Ubermensch. And the entire time, you'll all be laughing. You can pick it up on Steam, Xbox One, and PS4 for about $30. If you're looking for a dungeon to crawl through, I highly suggest you consider Necropolis. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Indie Bytes. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please remember to leave a like and subscribe for more stuff like this. Be sure to check out the other content that we put out on this channel, and remember to drop me a line here on Twitter or through email with any game recommendations that you've got. You can find all that stuff down in the description below. I'll see you next time. Bye!